What's going on, man? Thanks for coming to the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Dude, it's been like, what, 2 years now since we've known each other?
Yeah, two and a half years. Yeah, you were the first agent I followed on Instagram when I got my license.
You know what? I actually take that as a huge compliment because you're not the only one that's ever said that.
Okay.
So it's like, I always laugh when agents say that. Like, say, we were talking before the podcast how social media doesn't work, but I'm like, well, you know me, so
yeah,
only from Instagram, so
yeah,
it must work,
yeah,
you know?
And I don't live here.
Yeah,
so
you don't live here, yeah.
Worked.
Did you just hashtag? Is that how you found us?
I have no idea. I think just when I started, it was just looking up like real estate agent, like tips, like anything. I mean, the algorithm was so different back then too.
Dude, that's the one thing that's so frustrating. Like, I get that, like, pay to play on social. Like, I totally understand that. Like, I'm not asking for 100% organic reach, but like, it is ridiculous the throttling that you get, especially after you pay for ads.
Yeah.
After you pay for ads and they'll know that you'll pay to play, like they Facebook right now is like literally dead for me now.
Yeah.
Like I don't even I get no likes on it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a photo, like a new headshot or something, like nothing gets views on there.
Yeah.
Nothing. Is crazy.
I just post for just like my grandma and aunt to just be like, oh, good job. He's doing that real estate thing.
My grandma's the only one that likes it. And I don't even know if she knows she's liking it.
Yeah.
So like obviously on Instagram, like what made you come up with your name on Instagram? Like,
So on Instagram, it's that one real estate guy. And it was really just a play on how many agents there are. Mm-hmm. And just, I'm terrible with names. And I went to a broker preview in my area where agents come and pitch like future listings, even though we don't really need to do that. And there was like 25 agents in there, and I was brand new, and I was just like, well, if a buyer or seller comes in here, like, how do you even like pick? How do you even remember like who is who? So I was just like, well, what if they don't have to like necessarily remember my name? Like, what if I was just that one real estate guy, and it was just like that. So it was really quick. I was like up at midnight, and I was just like, I'll just make an Instagram profile with that name, and I just never changed it.
Yeah.
And it works. I could walk down the street like in my local area, and people shout it out, and I'm like, but what's my real name? They're like, I don't know. And I was like, that's fine.
It doesn't matter. I have this one listing lead right now that calls me Andy all the time. I'm like, yeah, you can call me Andy, whatever you want.
Right.
I don't really care.
You just have to roll with it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing is finding that little niche that's not your name. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that a lot of agents struggle with online because they think it's like in the past, it's like all about you, your postcarding, your mailers, your for sale signs, open house signs, whatever. But like on social media, it's like finding that niche that people will think of outside of like real estate. Like I think mine has been like corgis. Like that's like something I've like when I get more DMs about people tagging me in corgi posts than anything else. So it's like trying to ride that wave of like having the characters or having things like that just to kind of separate yourself from other people.
That's all it is. And I have no shame in saying, when somebody thinks about buying or selling, how do I get them to think of me and not like the family friend or the mailer that they got, things like that.
Yeah. So are you strictly just social media?
Yeah. All my leads, everything comes from social media. My first 2 deals were people from open houses, but other than that, every single deal has been from social media.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of people that always hits me up about social struggle with it? Did you in the beginning struggle on posting but you have like a video background already, so
yeah, I was already I enjoy social media, so I'll say that. I like making content. It's super exciting to see what people don't like, what they react to. But I think what it was for me when I started is I didn't see any other agents doing it. Like aside from like you and a couple others, I was just like, there's no new agents like doing this. I'm like, this has to work. Like, why wouldn't it work? Everybody has their phone on them for a reason. Everyone's phone's like within reach or on social media. So for me, it was just like, well, I'm going to double down on this. I'll try door knocking. I'll try cold calling. I'll try my sphere of influence, things like that to see what works. But I was miserable doing all those other things, but once I started doing social media, I was getting like an organic following. People were talking to me, and then like I started getting leads from it, and I was like, I think this is working. But I also had a lot of people like who were like on my side, like at the time saying like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. But I didn't want to give up.
Dude, I remember when I started doing the whole Casey Neistat stuff.
Yeah.
Following me around with when I started doing vlogs myself, people are like, I had older agents go like, oh, can I get your autograph? So you know what I do? I would print out a headshot and I'd sign it and give it to them just to be like, and it's so funny because it's like, it's all the same game and it's just how many people see your face.
Correct.
That's all it is.
Yeah, that's it. They need to think of me.
Yeah.
Like
it's so hilarious that like, it's like, and I really feel like it's like if you can get to the game early, you know, like find the niche, you know, that's why us, like, we're always trying to like, okay, let's post these kind of videos. How do these do? Okay, let's post these kind of videos. Do you ever struggle with like, you make something really good and like no one watches it or something, or like all of a sudden the algorithm throttles you down for,
there's been,
and all of a sudden you're like, dude, that was
there's been countless things that I've just created, even from just like stories, little videos that I shot on my vlog camera. And I'm just like, I was like editing it on iMovie. I thought it was all sick. And then I posted and I'm just like, oh, this didn't do anything. And I'm like bugging my wife, like, can you go like and comment and I'll comment back to you and like nothing happens. But it's the stuff where I just like grab it and I'm having like a shitty day and I just like post and talk and engage, where it just like goes without even like trying. I think it's the least of trying. I think it's something I think we need to do a better job over here, like making it more like that. But like I've always like wanted to be like the educational guy. Like, that's cool.
That's been like my, like I follow and I've coached with him with Kevy on like out in Costa Mesa. Like he's very like stylish, kind of like you know, have that style. Or my buddy James Shelby, who I'm gonna see later today, like super stylish, great at taking photos. Like, you know, for me, it's like, all right, I'm just going to make like the educational videos. Like, I'm going to try to educate as many people as possible.
I tried that. Then I realized like, oh, I actually don't know as much as I thought. I was like, I'm going to pull this back a little bit and learn some more.
Did you like, were you trying to do like the process, or were you trying to do like daily news videos?
I think I was just trying everything to see what stuck because I didn't have any deals, I had time. So I was just like, well, let me just see like what works, even from just basic tips to just like raising your credit score, how you can save for a down payment. But it's like, obviously that's a Google search away for everybody. And like so many agents and other people have done that video. So it's like, how can I make this one better or funnier or quicker to keep their attention, or, you know, things like that. So it was really just a lot of experimenting.
It's funny, before the podcast, like you were like, we were DMing back and forth about doing this, and you're like, but I don't like, but like just what you just said, literally if 99% of agents listen to what you just said, like it would extremely change their social media platform.
Maybe.
No, I know for a fact, like, because I believe the same thing. Like, I don't count posting if a new agent can post it. Like, and that's what you just said. It's like, oh, like I saw some girl post a video today, like, you don't need to have 20% to put down. Like, I think 99% of people know that already. Or they can just Google it. So it's like that video doesn't separate yourself from another agent at all. There's no opinion. There's no like, this is what separates from someone else. Like, you're literally, that's a Google search.
You're just blending in with everybody.
It's like when everyone shares the same current matter post. It's like, dude, like everyone's sharing that, or the same meme. It's like, come on, boys.
And even now they're sharing it, and it's still talking about interest rates and like the high twos. I'm like, the train left a long time ago.
The 3 train is left, man. We're like 4.5 right now. Like, it's insane. So are you kind of nervous because you're kind of a newer agent on this new change of a market?
So I've learned to just embrace the fact that I'm not going to always know everything. Like, things are changing like every day, and that I'm always learning. But I'm good at getting creative, and if I don't know something, like, I'm not afraid to like admit it now. And I think I'm cool with that, because a lot of agents act like they know what they're doing. And I've come to find out that even me, like, I know more than some of these like veteran agents.
Oh my God, dude. It
blows my mind.
That is the most frustrating thing that people don't get, is like, when I see an agent that's been doing it for so many years, and I've done transactions with them, and they're so terrible, and they just get deals because they've been around for so many years that people just, the assumption like, oh, they must know what they're doing. They've been around forever. And I think that's the hard reason why in real estate, like, you've got to get past that 5-year mark. Because I think like after like 10 years of like, you know, then people go like, oh, he's been doing this for 10 years. Like, you know,
but then they start to kind of like let off like with the quality of
it. 100%.
And then I'm like, oh, they were really unhappy with like the transaction stuff. Like, huge like brokerages like out like around me within like a 10-mile radius. I'm like, oh yeah, they're like the big name out here, and they're like, oh yeah, we had a horrible experience with them. We just went with them because we thought like, we see them everywhere.
And the hard part is, it's like, what people don't get, like, I get DMs all the time like, hey, listen, I'm in escrow, this isn't going great, like, what should I do? And I'm like, I can't legally, I'm not allowed to advise you because I'm not your agent. And then 2, it's just like, you should have hired me in the first place. Like, you went with your cousin, or you went with this person. Like, I can't help you right now.
I've had to stop like
giving advice.
Yeah, because I'm just like even my first broker was just like, you need to watch what you say, and I'm just like, I'm so hungry. I'm like, but like,
yeah,
go with. But now I'm just, I'm a little bit more assertive, just like, sorry this is happening. Like if it doesn't work out, like reach out to me and I'll take care of you.
Yeah,
and it's happened.
Well, it's too. I've had that happen.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I've also been the listing agent before, where like the deal has just gone sideways, and it's nothing for us to do. It's all on the buy side, and then I could tell my client was talking to another realtor, because they're using realtor terms, and I'm like, all right, and then trying to like catch me up on
not
stuff.
putting it in the right place. You're like, why would you know this word? You're not using it right.
You're not using it right. So it's like that's something I always take into consideration now too. Like with experience, is like sometimes your clients are just not going to be happy because things aren't going the way they want, and like has nothing to do with the agent or I think that's something that I struggle with as an agent. Like especially right now with buyers the last 2 years, like I'm terrible at follow up when nothing's coming on the market. Like I just don't know what to tell people. Like I don't like. There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing.
Sorry.
There's nothing. Like there's not. Or like the opposite. Like I've also been in 2018 when rates did what they're doing right now, and we had 15 listings and nothing was selling. Yeah. And the sellers are like, "Why is the house not selling?"
Yeah.
No buyers.
Yeah.
Rates are at 5.5 or 4.5 right now. They jumped up a point in the last 3.5 weeks. Like, people don't want to buy right now.
Can't afford it. Yeah.
So that's something I know I struggle with that. Cause I've learned like, not everyone's gonna be happy. So I try to dial myself back too, because like, I don't want to tell them something and then them go and then them name drop me. And then all of a sudden I'm getting a call. And it's like, I just responded back to an Instagram message, so.
Yeah. I'm also just super picky. So I think not that I go around saying like, hey, I'm good, but I don't know everything. Like I think any normal human would know, talking to a realtor, like they're not going to know everything.
It's impossible.
You can read it when you're talking to them if somebody knows what they're talking about or not, but yeah, it's impossible.
It's impossible. And what people don't understand, and I try to impress this to new agents, like there's so many changing factors. Like, I shot a video before when COVID hit that the market was going to totally crash. Like totally wrong. You know what I mean? Totally missed that boat. But it's like, I'm not worried about making that video because it's like in that moment in time, like I didn't know that the government was going to bail everyone out. And like, I just thought like, oh, well, here we go. Like even like right now, it's like, I don't think the market's going to tank because we have such low inventory. But if all of a sudden something changes and inventory shoots through the roof for some reason, like I'm going to be wrong.
Yeah. I'll find out when they find out.
Exactly.
That's all I tell them. Like, I don't know.
Even showings, like, are you starting to realize, like, clients will know way more about a house than I will, and it's like, dude, I'm like, and I've had clients ask me that, and I'm like, dude, I try to explain. I'm like, you're looking at this one house, all day long. Yeah. I have 7 clients. Like, they're also looking at houses. Like, it's impossible to know if you're only looking at one, I'm looking at 20. Like, you can't know it all. So what made you like get into real estate?
It was the money. So
perfect.
First,
I love it.
So all my family on my dad's side is in real estate. They've been in real estate forever. So like I was always like around it, and I never really realized the fact like, oh, they have money, but I didn't know that one was a lender, one was a broker, another was an agent. All the daughters were agents. I had a failing business right before I decided to do real estate. I had a men's boutique store in Uptown Whittier. And I was just like, I'm just going to sell men's clothing. It was like if the Nordstrom's guys section had their own standalone store. So I had some brands from Nordstrom, which was kind of cool. But like, it just wasn't working out. Running a business is super hard, like having a brick and mortar. And I was just like in the craziest amount of debt that I ever thought I would be in. I was just like, I don't know what to do. And a guy came in who was an agent. He's like, oh, just be an agent. If you sell a house, you make like $15,000. I'm like, that sounds great. At this point, I've never had more than probably like $2,000 in my account at like one time. So I was just like, all right, like I'll just do the test and try to pass. And during like store hours, I would just do my classes online. No customers are coming in. So I had all this time. And then I passed, joined like the first brokerage I talked to, which was a mistake. And was just like, all right, let's do this. And then realized this is so much harder than I realized. I had to get my first deal for like 6 months. That escrow was just a nightmare. And honestly, I think my first year I maybe did like 5 or 6 deals, which I know is like average for some agents, but like I had like the worst split ever. And it wasn't even until my second year that things started like moving. Now, like it's nice where I don't have to like worry about money. I could take care of like my mortgage, my mother-in-law. I could afford my car. I sold my car off like before I did because I just had no money.
Mm-hmm.
But now I really just get a high off helping people and just being able to like do something where I can like be myself and look like myself, talk like myself. And it's great. I don't know if I'll do it forever. I don't know if I want to help retail buyers and sellers forever, but like I definitely want to like buy real estate. So this is a perfect stepping stone.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, it's funny. Like if you would have came to me when and you're like, hey, I want to get in real estate. Like, it's like, I try to tell people all the time, like it's like, you need to have some money before you get into it. Like, because it's so hard to last, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and then you don't realize like how much it costs to get started. Like signs and this and that. And you know, that's the only reason I did Instagram, because I was so broke, just like you, that I had no other money. Like, I had no money for marketing. Yeah. So I just like, I'm just gonna DM 1,800 people that I'm friends with on Facebook. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, hey, yeah, we have a house we actually need to sell. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. So you said the first brokerage you went to was a big mistake. Like, what did you learn that maybe a new agent could learn from, that you made the mistake on maybe not asking the right questions or going in the wrong place? Or
so I think I would say majority of the people that get like their license probably don't know how a real estate transaction works. Like, so I didn't realize it, and maybe it was like a pride thing. Like, I needed somebody to like hold my hand and show me absolutely everything, what everything meant. Not that they like didn't do that. He really just kind of like threw me like in the trenches, and that was like his motto. And even if he was in this room, he would tell you like, yeah, that's what I said. So it did like help build like my strength like a little bit, but like just somebody that can like hold my hand and baby me, you know, like I have no shame in like saying that, but like I didn't know what I was doing. Like I was like,
I didn't even know where to write I didn't even know where the RPAs were. Yeah. Like I
didn't get that.
I was like, so I was writing my first offer and I was like, oh, is it in this office? Yeah. They're like, no, it's on this website. I'm like, what website?
The MLS? They're like, no. Another one.
I was like, what do you mean another one? Yeah. And then the first offer I ever sent out, I never signed it. Yeah. Because it was literally the first ever offer I ever wrote. I got accepted. Yeah. Man, those are the days, right? Yeah. But like, I didn't even sign it because I didn't even know that I had to sign it, because my broker was kind of the same way. Like, yeah, I'm here.
Like, just learn though. Like, figure it out.
Go figure it out. Yeah. And when you have a question, come to me and I'll answer it. You know? Yeah. And I'm like, okay.
I didn't get it. I was just so confused. I mean, like, I was stressed. Like, I was just talking to my wife. I was just like, I don't know if I could do this. Like, we were in Utah during my first like escrow, and I was just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I can't sleep. My client's pissed off at me. Like, now when I look back at like the transaction, like my buyer was in the wrong so many times, and I was like trying to fight for him for like things that he said he didn't want, like for this house, and I'm like, that was such a mess. But yeah, I just honestly, with my first brokerage, I wish I just interviewed around. I wish for the split that I had,
was it 50-50?
60-40.
Ooh, that's bad.
Or actually, ready? Every time I say this, I always have to like break it down. 70-30, but of my 70, 10% of that goes into a marketing fund that they hold, that they have to approve for whatever I use. And if I leave the brokerage, they keep it. Wow. So I was just like 60-40 in my head. But like for 60-40, that's a lot.
It is.
You need to hold my hand, you need to show me what to do. When I call you, you have to call me back and help me out when I'm like crying. Yeah. Like trying to figure out like what to do.
I like go back and I look at how stressed I used to be in transactions and how like intense I used to be, and like in my first year I did 24. Yeah. So I was like so over my head. Yeah. That like I literally was like doing everything for everything, and I was running around with my head chopped off. Like luckily I was 28 and single at the time. Like, or I would have never made that my first year. Like I was literally like, and like calling and yelling at people, and I had no idea what I was doing, and it was crazy, dude.
I was also talking a certain way. Like I was talking like I had been in real estate for
really?
10 years, and like I probably sounded dumb. And I know like my clients can like see it, but like that's just what I learned from like these traditional like.
Were you wearing a suit when you first started too?
No, but I definitely was just like, okay, collared shirt, cover up all like my tattoos, like watch certain words I say, don't curse, like it was just bad.
It's so funny. Agents in this market will come see me like at an open house, or they'll be like, oh, what are you on your way to do? I'm like, oh, I gotta go show houses. And they're like, showing houses in flip-flops and a hat? I'm like,
Yeah.
And they're like, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, the clients that I'm going to go see, like, I know they are going to be probably wearing the same thing.
Yeah.
So why would I wear a suit to those people?
To impress them again.
I'm like, that's not going to make them feel comfortable. I was like, but I also have clients where I wear suits.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same for every person. You kind of have to make that person feel more comfortable. You know, every style is different.
Yeah.
And, you know,
change it up too.
And then like, but to think like there's some brokerages that's like, you have to wear a collar shirt every single time. Like, I haven't worn a suit in 2 years now, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's not who I am. And like,
right.
I drive a cargo van.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
With my face on the side of it. I can't get out in a suit. That's weird.
Yeah. Literally, as soon as I walk up, I just deal with the listing agent. Like, are you an agent?
Oh, I love that one. Who's the agent? I'm like, it's me.
Yeah. Can you sign in here? I'm like, I'm an agent.
And then I always laugh because I'm like, and then I'm like, uh-huh. And I like look at their number and it's like 021 or whatever. And I'm like, and then I look up their number. It's like their first listing. And I'm like, dude, it's all right. You'll figure this out.
Yeah.
I just think that's the thing that you got to not be scared of in this industry is just like not, and it's hard because you're new and you want like, I want to make everyone happy and I want anyone and everyone to come work with me. And like, you start getting to the point where you luckily get in a position where you're like, you know what? Like, I don't need to work with you.
Yeah.
I fire people all the time now.
Yeah. I interview people before and that blows people's minds. And a lot of agents also are just like, that's not a good move. And I was just like, what do you mean? Like my time is worth something too. And even when I'm interviewing like potential buyers, I'm like, there's going to be times where I can't go and see the house.
Oh yeah.
And you can, and you're going to have to go do it. Or we might miss out on a house because of it, because life is going to get in the way.
Well, and it's like, you know, it's like that's something that I some have clients not happy with is because like we'll sometimes go through a whole transaction and someone will be like, well, I spoke to Brittany, my assistant, the whole time. And, you know, my showing agent Liz showed the house. Brittany handled all the paperwork, whatever. And something we have to explain to them, it's like, you know, I'm involved in this whole transaction. You might not be hearing from me, but like, there's nothing that's not being done that I don't know about. Yeah. And if there is a red flag, like I'll be the person that will be handling that.
Yeah, if I'm calling you, something's probably wrong.
I know. I tell them all the time, I'm like, you actually don't want to hear from me. And it sucks because another thing that a lot of people who are not in this industry, it's like, cool, you're an escrow. I got to go find another escrow.
Yeah.
Like
I still have to make money.
Like I have to go find someone else. Like this is closing in 20 days. If I have nothing else in the pipeline, like I got to get something else here so it keeps it going because there's nothing worse than when you have no escrows.
It's the worst feeling. That's me right now.
Oh, really?
That happens. Yeah.
Dude, I've had, it's so fun. You know what the best line I've had this year when agents are like, hey, how's the year going? You know, and everyone's like, oh, it's going great. Super busy. Yeah. And like the last week, I'm like super slow. And they're like, what? And I'm like, terrible. I was like, I've done 2 deals this year. And they're like, what? And I go, yeah. And I go like, I'm not ashamed to say that. No. Like I have so much in the pipeline. We have 35 new builds. We have all this stuff. Like, and I'm like, it's okay to be slow.
Yeah. It's not always going to be escrow after escrow after escrow.
You know, it's like it's like not every, I think that's something that people have to realize. It's like they're so insecure to tell other agents that they're slow that of course they're not.
Yeah. I'm like, no, dude, shit sucks right now. I closed 3 last week, but like, do I have any open escrows right now? No. So yeah. I'm going to just work.
That's the thing too. I tell people all the time. It's like, I show up here every day.
Yeah.
0 escrows, 10 escrows. I'm in here every single day shooting content, being in the mindset of real estate.
Yeah. I'm not worried. I can say that. Like, I just like, I'm like, I'm not going to be like, it's crazy. Like I'm opening escrows left and right. Like, no, like it's slow for me, but like something's going to happen. I'm not worried.
I think that's the thing. You start getting to the point where it's like, if I do what I do every single day, like I have a listing today, we were talking about just a random Facebook message. Yeah. But I'm like, I've been making content every single day for that person who has been following me. I think we've been following each other for like 3.5 years. It's like, he's been seeing my content for 3.5 years. Yeah. You know, I had no idea that he was going to call me.
Yeah. And sometimes it just happens. You wake up to it. Now
that you have, so your wife's an agent now.
She is. Yeah.
So what made you guys make that move? Well, she just wanted to get in or what?
Yeah, I think so we did wedding photography before. And so while I had my failing business, I was her free second shooter. So it's just like, she's like, you're going to close the store today because it's not making money. You're going to come shoot this wedding with me. And now I hate shooting weddings and I just hate weddings, honestly. Yeah. Like it's just, it left such a bad taste in my mouth. But she was just like, what if we do real estate together? Because we also understand the power of marketing.
For sure.
And for some reason, a couple, husband, wife, team, any couple, like
I think women do so much better in this industry.
Yeah, a million times. Yeah.
Compared to us.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like dude, I get so frustrated with women in this industry.
Yeah.
Like, stop. If you do this game right, you can dominate.
Big time.
Stop just taking a photo of your face.
Yeah. Yeah. It's huge, dude. Yeah. She has a lot of power. She's going to kill it. I mean, she's feeling that, like, she's only been doing it 2 months. She's just like, this is hard. I'm like, it took me 6 months. And even that, I was like, you already have people pre-approved. Like, just keep going. As long as you, like, every day you do something, even just like 1%, like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so she's doing that. But her dream is to do interior design, run Airbnbs, like, do that whole thing. Don't know when this is coming out, but, like, we're getting ready to open on our first investment
This
property.
will be out tomorrow, hopefully.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So today I'm opening escrow.
Where at?
On Yucca, but it's on the border of Joshua Tree.
Okay.
Off-market listing.
How'd you get it?
New agent that I've just kept in touch with for over the years recently signed up at this brokerage down the street from me, and she put it in her story, and I was just like, oh, just tell her I'll buy it right now.
Yeah.
Which I realized, like, right, scared money doesn't make money, so I was just like, that's really scary. Like,
Yeah.
so I told her, I was like, you could represent us, because I didn't want the liability. I was
Yeah.
just like, just make it happen, don't put it on the market, and it worked out.
I actually just opened my first investment property.
Are you scared?
No.
That's good.
Nothing worries me because I've been bankrupt like 3 times since I started real estate.
I think that's how I feel too. I'm like, I mean, what's the worst case scenario? I have to sell it. Start over.
So we've got I'm into it for $30,000. It's
Okay.
a duplex in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
My best friend's moving out there, so he has rental properties already out there, right there. So we bought it for 128 grand, and we got a hard money loan for 200. So it's gonna take about 80 grand to fix it.
Yeah.
It's a total gut job, and then it'll cash flow, and we'll hard money it out. And I mean, we're actually the best yin and yang, because I'm like, let's do it, and he's like, really, like, run the numbers, like, let's make balance. Sure, and I'm like, let's just do it. Like, what's $30,000?
Yeah,
it sounds $30,000 is a lot of money. I'm not saying, but like, for me, like, I swing, like, the one thing that I had to get used to in this industry, especially like opening the office, having staff, like, I have $20,000 swings all the time.
Yeah,
like, people don't understand that. They want to have all this. I'm like, dude, like, this room was $5,000.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, I had a perfectly other fine room, but then I was like, it's not good enough anyway. So it's like, I'm so used to like slinging like $20, $30, $40, $50,000 swings all the time. Like, you know, it's, I think that you have to take risks to make money.
1,000%.
And if you don't want to take that risk and you always play it safe, then like, you're just never going to do well in life. Like, you cannot, you know, you have to take risk.
Yeah. And I want financial freedom, and I know that's not going to happen unless, like, I take these risks and, like, do these things, at least while, like, I'm young too. Like, I want to start
for sure
now, not while I'm 40.
Well, and that's like, we were talking, me and my buddy, I was like, cool, we need 8 more units for the rest of the year. Yeah. I'm like, you keep on finding the units out there, I'll keep on finding the money.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think that's something I've learned from my developer Dean. Like, he's only 25 or 26, and he's like we're building 2 new build projects right now, 3 apartments. Like, he's like, I'll just go find the money. Like, I'm not worried. Like, we'll find it, we'll build it, it will make sense. Like, and so like that, like, level of like, let's just figure it out. Like, I think that's what really you need to take to like get to that next level. So obviously you and your wife are in real estate together. How has that balance been working with each other?
So we're with the same brokerage, but my broker is she's great. I love her, Julie. She's good at just like, if you have a question, consider me the first person. Like, I know, you know, she's right next to me or I'm right next to her, but like, you know, use me. That's why you're giving me like this cut. So it's just like,
I think that's the thing I get so annoyed with brokers. It's like, dude, it's like, people are paying you.
Yeah.
Like, unless, like, I tell every time, like, unless your broker gives you value, go to freaking a flat fee brokerage, pay 0 money to them, because you're not going to get anything anyways. Yeah. It's like when people are DMing me, I'm like, no, I don't answer questions anymore. So going back, so you guys are working together?
Yeah, but it's chill. I mean, she has her own clients. I have mine. We can't help but to ask each other questions like sometimes, but like, I think because it's still new, we don't know yet. But now, like, we have this investment property where like she's going to be spending most of her time with. So it's like, I could also just take over her clients for her. So we don't know. I think it was just more so like, she got her license because it's just a good thing to have.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many like rules about who could show houses or do
for
what.
Sure.
So like, if I need that like backup, like, she's my tag team partner. Tag her in.
Well, it's just too hard to do this on your own, man.
It is. It
like
100% is.
It is so hard to do this. I think all aspects, like showing houses, doing contracts, staying on top of the things, figuring out new ideas. I struggle with that sometimes where I'm like, dude, what am I going to like shoot today?
Yeah.
Like I have, and then it's just me trying to figure out all the ideas and I'm like, dude, I don't know what to shoot today. Like I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know, or what direction do we need to start going, or
right.
So it's just, I don't think people realize like you almost need a partner just to get through this. And your broker, most brokers, you know, there's few and far between, but like your broker is also not your business partner.
Correct.
That people need to realize.
Yeah.
Are you ever done coaching?
No.
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 You ever gonna do coaching?
I don't know. I feel like my broker, like what she does is great. I mean, we have like a once a month like coaching call where it's just like, hey, what's going on? Like vent to me, like how can I help you? Like this and that. And like that's about as far as it is. I've looked into like coaches, like real estate coaches, like life coaches. And I'm like, it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
I could be using that money to think of another video to like push out to like get another like listing lead.
It is definitely like I think something I've tried to do is buy coaching programs and not coach with someone.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that coach is sooner or later going to run out of stuff to tell me. And then I have to like break up with them. Yeah. Where if I just, and I have that's like a running tab. Like for me, like I just bought a $4,000 YouTube coaching program.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'd rather just, okay, I'm into it for $4,000. Use it or not. Like it's just, but it's not like 4 and then 8 and then 12. And then next thing I know, I've been coaching with someone for 3 years and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Same thing over and over.
Yeah. So what do you have moving forward in the future that you're trying to like get after? Maybe some new ideas, some marketing tips. Like, what are you trying to change the game a little bit?
I think I've just entertained it. So like I've done a couple videos where I've written the entire script and it's like a mini 1 minute, 2 minute like movie. Like, I mean, and I hope my videographer lets me, but I write out every little like detail of just like, it's going to transition this way, do this and do that. I like the idea of helping agents get better at marketing. I don't know how I would do it or if like I would do it, but I feel like most of my DMs are agents like, how did you do it? So like I closed on my seller's replacement property the other day and like I put the screenshot of the DM that she sent me. Because again, a lot of people just don't believe like, how do you get it from like social media? So
dude, when people
blows their mind.
Yeah. Like literally like someone texted me the other day like, hey, how many deals did you do off social last year? I'm like, why? He's like, I'm trying to convince someone on my team because they're out of Tustin. Like they needed to be doing social. I literally screenshot the listing DM I just got to meet and I sent it to him like, this happened 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, thank you. And like,
that's it. That's all you need. Yeah.
So you think about building your own coaching program, you think?
Yeah, I've thought about that, but just strictly for like social media, like marketing or even just like writing like video treatments for like real estate agents. All the agents, like even though you could have the nicest video, but like most of them are just putting out the same content.
See, I suck at what you do. Like,
what is it?
Like, like what I see you do, like, I'm like, God, I wish I could do what you do. Like,
I honestly feel, well, so I played in a band and I was a front man. So I think that's also made me super comfortable being in front of people and like doing things like that. And then with my store, because I had so much time, I was able to just do social media there too. But I'm more reserved in person. I don't know why, like on video,
I am too.
It's more like comfortable for me. And for me, like, I'm just like, well, what's going to keep their attention? What's a little like shock value like to it? So like I always throw in a curse word into my video because I know
that's what Tony Robbins said. Tony Robbins says that. That's why he'll randomly say the F word in his events.
It grabs your attention.
And I think that's all we're trying to do. But like, no, like what I mean by like what you do is like, I'm not like, there's no way I could write out a script. Like your TikToks and stuff. No, like I don't have that creative eye. Like I don't have that creative, like, okay, now we're going to transition and now we're going to do that. Like I just don't have that. Like I know I don't have that. That's why I don't do really well on TikTok, like because I don't have that like this is not my skill set.
Right.
And I know that it would take me 2 to 3 times longer to make that video than me making a news video. And if I want to shoot videos every single day and put out stuff every single day, I have to make stuff that I can shoot 1 to 2 takes and not have to.
I don't know what it is. I mean, like literally, even now, I just like I'll just be walking on the treadmill at the gym, like, oh, I got an idea, and I can just it's just for some reason I could just see it in my head and just run through it.
Which is funny because my ideas is like, okay, what kind of educational video I can make?
Yeah,
that's my like. Oh, that's totally a video idea. Like I'll be laying in bed and be like, that's a video idea.
Yeah,
I'm gonna shoot that video tomorrow.
I do that, but it's just with like how can I make this funny?
See, I'm not funny. See, I don't think I'm funny. Like, I don't think I'm funny.
Think I'm funny, but I just think I just enjoy making videos like that, so that's why maybe it works for me. Like, a little bit.
I think I would feel like, but like it is interesting. Like when I'm in person, people are like, "Oh," I'm like, "That's a character that I play online.
Yeah.
It's not who I am in real life."
Yeah.
But they're like, "Yeah, but you're always talking and on video," and so I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I just do it because I have to.
Yeah.
Because it makes me money.
Yeah. And
I actually hate social media.
Yeah, it sucks. It's really a job in itself. Like when people are just like, I don't have people who don't need it, right? Like, I don't have social media. I was like, just don't get it.
Dude, I didn't have it before I got in real estate. I didn't have it for a long time because I just was like, what am I posting about?
Yeah.
You know?
And even on my personal page, like.
Oh yeah, you have separate.
Yeah, so I have one for real estate, and then I have like my personal page. And my personal page is more personal life, and then a lot of just fashion, shoes, just menswear stuff like that. And I've stopped talking less on it, just because like it's so much energy having to talk on like the real estate page.
Do you ever take social media breaks?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like that's me letting like my foot off the gas.
I take weekends off.
That's good. I take a Saturday.
I take Saturday and Sundays off just because I feel like we push so much content throughout the week. Like maybe a Saturday and Sunday I'll post, but I do struggle with this. Like a lot of my followers come from social. So like if I'm doing something fun, I'm scared to share it because maybe we're in escrow with someone or something like that. Or like, I don't want my clients thinking like, oh, well, he's not paying attention to our deal. Like,
yeah, I have to find that like balance. But if I do have off time, it's Friday, usually afternoon up until right before Sunday evening. Cause I notice I get like a lot less activity. People are enjoying the weekend a little less. People are.
So you really look at your algorithm a lot?
A little
your
bit,
numbers?
but I just also like consider myself and the people around me. I'm just like, everyone's on their phone less. Like everyone's on their phone during the week because they're at their crappy 9 to 5 board. Like, and then Sunday night getting ready for the work week, everyone's just lounging around waiting. So like, I love posting on a Sunday evening. Yeah, it does great.
I like my biggest thing is early morning posts because I know that person's gonna check their phone. Yeah. When they wake up or when they're having a coffee or whatever like that. Like I try to explain to agents and marketing people in general because I think what this we could do to any business, to be honest. Like I always say, like all I want is when someone goes on their stories, like even if they fast forward through my story, they see my story. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That's really all it is.
Yeah. And that's why I'm just big on like, I have to show my face. Even if I'm like not feeling it like that day, I'm like, I just need to show my face. Like that's all it is to get people to remember.
Do you guys go out and plan photo shoots or you just on? No.
Just go for it.
Yeah, I need to start doing photo shoots. As dumb as that sounds to some people, like I'm so bad at taking photos in the moment that I need to like plan it out. Like,
yeah, I think because we have the photography background, we're kind of just like, it comes easy to us to just be like, we could see the photo right there in front of us. So we're just like, all right, pull up the iPhone.
I definitely think that's very helpful to have that like eye.
Yeah. Because I'm such a critic. I'll see other people post photos. I'm like, that photo's bad. It's crooked. It's too close.
It's like they're not centered right. Like
it like, just bugs me.
And it's crazy is like Adrian, who's my videographer, like he has no photo skills.
Okay.
Zero.
Interesting.
He's like, I'm a videographer. Yeah. I'm not a photographer.
Different ball game.
It's a totally different ball game. That's why when people go like, oh, does he shoot your houses? I'm like, no. Yeah. That's a completely different ball game. You don't shoot your own houses, do you?
No, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just lazy, but I just like, it's already hard doing this on my own, so it's like I'd rather just like hand it off. Like,
well, for me, I get enjoyment of like having staff. Not that maybe don't work for me, but I enjoy being like, I made this person money. Yes, like I really see it that way.
It feels good for me. Yeah, I like support, and it's just like they're good at it. Like, why am I gonna
take that away from him?
No,
because I get
take me longer.
Well, that's that, but it's like what I get pissed at for sale by owners. So why am I going to try to do something on my own? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's just, I'm good with it. Yeah. I could be using that time to do other stuff.
So do you just want to get moving forward into just getting Airbnbs and rentals?
I think so. Yeah. I want financial freedom early. And I think that is buying property, renting them out. I still want to help buyers and sellers, but like how I said earlier, I interview all my buyers and sellers to make sure that aside from them wanting to work with me, that I want to work with them. I want to continue doing that. But, with that, there's been people I've said no to or people that don't want to work with me. So it's like, if I'm not opening enough escrows, what else do I have making me money? So I just like want the nice balance. Because I said, I enjoy going to like showings, helping people, like getting creative with offers. Like I pride myself in that. I'm just like, I could think outside the box, and that's helped me with all of my transactions since last year. So I'm like,
I enjoy walking to a stranger's house and 30 minutes later walking out with a signed listing and contract.
Yeah.
Like that is the biggest high for me.
Yeah. Even when they like, it's from a DM, like they're reaching out. We talked about this earlier, right? They're already reaching out to you. It's like you probably have it in the bag. Just don't shoot yourself in the foot. So like you could just go and just be yourself, and they just want to like work with you. Like this listing I just closed, like when I first saw her, she gave me like a big hug. Like no one's hugging you at listing appointments. Like what the heck?
sure.
Yeah. You know, she just knows me from social media. It's the first time I saw her in person, and she's just like excited to see me. I'm like, I'm excited to see you too. And then even then, like I thought the listing was dead because she was pregnant, and like ended up working out like months later. So I was like, cool. Like I don't worry about losing a deal, honestly.
No, I think that's the thing is like that's something very hard in real estate is when someone holds off, you have to keep yourself so poised because like literally like it could 2 months. We have one going live next week that we listed in December. We listed it for like 3 days. They canceled, and then like they're like, oh, we're gonna rent it out for a year. I'm like, all right, cool, no worries, whatever you need. You know, it cost me $1,000 to put it on the market, ate the cost. And then like they literally rented it to like a traveling nurse. That person's leaving because their job got canceled. And they're like, hey, actually, we want to sell it now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if I was like a jerk or I came off the wrong way or pushy or like, I think that's the thing that new agents need to learn. And maybe even older agents, like if at the end of the day, because were you scared of like doing something wrong, like illegal?
Oh yeah. Doing something. Yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
Or just like, just being too aggressive.
Oh.
Like pushy. Like just.
I'm the worst. Like I'm the worst follow-up because I'm so scared to being too pushy.
Yeah.
Especially when like a friend gives me a lead. I don't want to be like, dude, Adam won't stop calling me. Like I'm so worried about that. And I've lost deals over it because I'm like, hey, listen, like when you're ready, you just call me. Like I don't want to be the guy to blow up your phone. I can put you in my CRM and have you call you every 3 weeks. But I don't want to bug you.
Yeah.
When you're ready, I'm here for you. And if you don't want to work with me, I get it.
And it's right, human nature. Like you know if they want to work with you, or, like how serious they are. So like I'm not pushy either. It doesn't make me feel good. Other agents are like, well, I've gotten deals because I've been pushy. And I was like,
good for you.
Yeah. Doesn't make me feel good.
It's like when people go like, I love when anytime I do a panel talk and like people are like, I'm like, yeah, cold calling doesn't work or whatever. And they're like, oh, I crush it on cold calling. I'm like, congrats, you're one person.
Sick, Chad. Yeah, keep doing it then.
Keep doing it, dude. I go, but I'll take my life compared to yours.
Yeah. I also just want to be happy.
I want to be happy.
Yeah. Mental health is big for me. So it's like, if it's not making me happy, like, why am I going to do it?
It's just like, people were talking about like, oh, how many agents you have working here. Like, how many people come to me all the time like, why aren't you have a team? You're losing money. You need to be having a team. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't want to do 7:30 huddle calls every day.
No.
Like, literally, that is like the non-fun items that like, we wonder why this industry we've seen. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but like people crushing it, and then like 4 months later, they're literally like lost their whole team, addicted to cocaine or drugs, cheating on their wife or husband, and out of the industry.
Yeah,
or like that.
Yeah, or people that are crushing it, and then I've probably looked up one agent before, but like people that are crushing it, something, and I look it up, I'm like, they're faking the funk. Like,
yeah, does that ever happen to you where you get like sucked into like, oh my God, I feel like that person's crushing it?
Yeah, I think when I first started, right, you just compare yourself, and then I've gotten so good now at just like putting my blinders on because now that I know how it works, and now I'm not afraid to like DM somebody and be like, you really love cold calling? You always post about it. Like, no, I actually hate it. I'm like, okay. Like,
do you sit on social a lot?
Yeah, I'd say I do. But I think because that's how I make my money, even on like my personal side. Like I do stuff for other like clothing brands, and even like on my music side of things, like that's how I get like the name out there. But other than that, like I'm either eating a really boring meal, going to the gym, or just walking my dog. Like, I have a very mellow life. Yeah. Like it's pretty laid back, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing too, is like sometimes like I mean it's just like, dude, I guess the reason why I'm not on it that much is like, dude, I just need a break from this. Like, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
I love TikToks. I like laughing. So like I'll get stuck in like that.
In the TikTok world?
Like that's fine.
Are you getting better results on TikTok right now?
I haven't been doing it like as much for real estate because now it's even harder to get like views. So I wasn't enjoying it after a while. Like doing like the little skits were like cool. And then now Instagram is good where if you put the TikTok onto Instagram, it has that watermark. It won't get as much push usually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm just like, I'll just do it on like Reels. Like Reels are pushing it for me. So stick with that. TikTok, like I think I recently posted something that flopped, but I was just like, it's funny to me. Like,
well, I think the hard part that TikTok for me is like, dude, it's like, it's so frustrating because it's like, it's just girls, like most of it is just like girls shaking their ass to songs. And you're like, that's great. That's getting 2 million views. But like, you know, like people are like, oh, like Gary Vee's like, oh, you got to get on TikTok. You got to get on TikTok. It's like, great. That's true if you're if you're trying to be an influencer.
Correct.
But I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm trying to sell real estate.
Yeah.
So where is my demographic?
Yeah. And what
algorithm's going to push my people to me the most? Like if I'm putting stuff on TikTok, but more people are watching girls shake their butt, like I'm just not going to, I'm not going to get it.
You're just going to get more agents and lenders following you.
Yeah.
Like, I realized that with Instagram too.
Oh, dude, I get so many agents following me.
Yeah. Even with like the content I post, I'm like, is a buyer or seller going to understand this as well as like an agent, or is just the agent and lender going to understand this? So I'm always like, my thing, because I like always joke about being dumb. I'm like, I need to dumb it down for myself so that way somebody who has no idea how to buy a home can see us and be like, oh, I actually get what he's talking about.
Do you, that's like the main goal for us. I actually have a meeting today at 2, like to build a coaching program for realtors. Like that is the game. And people go like, why do you want to do that? I'm like, same thing like you were saying, like I want to make money when houses aren't selling.
Yeah.
So it's like this podcast, sooner or later I'm going to have ad revenue on it. Like we've already in talks with mortgage lenders right now to like be a 15-second pop on it.
Yeah.
And they're like, people are like, I'm like, dude, there's so much way to make money in this industry. It's not just buying and selling homes, dude.
Yeah. You'll drive yourself crazy doing that forever.
Well, it's like, how can you do it forever?
You can't. It's really tough.
So what was the reason for you and your wife not teaming up to like be a team? You know, like
I think people automatically consider us a team, but I think it's just her and I, we're just both stuck in our ways of just like, well, I want my thing and she wants her thing, and like we're just cool with that. But we have no problem like posting each other like on like social media and like cross promoting like that. So I feel that's probably where it's gonna like stay at. And we're kind of curious to see how this investment property thing like works for us, because now we're the buyers. Like now we're doing like what we preach to everybody, and we're also just extremely transparent with our lives. We live a very public life, which is good and bad, even before real estate. So as far as like us working together, I feel like that's already just gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, like if she needs me to go help show a house, like I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just, I think just, I don't know if we're just gonna like brand ourselves or like start a brokerage and it's Steph and Alex.
Would you try to be your broker? Would you think about getting your broker's license?
No, I'm good.
No, like I started.
I don't want the liability.
I started taking the broker's schooling this year.
Yeah.
And like I think I made it through a week, and I was like, I'll just go shoot some videos. Like it's not even worth it for me.
Yeah, at least I don't feel. I mean, it could change later, but like I just don't have a desire for it. There were some agents that I was coaching a little bit, like new ones, where I'm just like, don't do this, don't do that, and like I realized like I'm having weekly calls with these agents, and I'm like, oh shoot, what am I doing? And I like had to like reel it back in a little bit.
Dude, I stopped answering questions now in the DMs.
Yeah.
Because like, dude, I get like I had some girl DM me the other night and was like, hey, how do I get my first listing? And I just like went on her story, and she works for a team, and I go, what does your team leader tell you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's saying this, but it's not working. Then you should probably go work for someone else. Like, and it sounds like, and I know that's a jerk thing to say, but dude, it's like, there's so many, I get 2-3 DMs every other day of like, how do I do this? How do I do that? What are you sending out? What videos are you making? And it's like, dude, it's like, I mean, every once in a while, like if I feel like it's a legit question, not just like, save me, you know, like I can like when you DM me, like when you're having problems in your first deal, like
when I read that, even now I'm like, what was I talking about? I clearly didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But like, so like, because I was there.
Yeah.
Like I have been the agent in the first deal, literally being like, I remember my second listing, my second listing, literally my sellers like left the house trashed. And it was a deal inside my brokerage, and I just told him, I said, I know y'all think that I've been doing this for a while. This is my second listing I've ever closed. Like I didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know these things. Like I didn't know like, hey, make sure the house is cleaned out. Like I didn't even think about telling them that.
Yeah.
And I would never think someone would have done that.
And they'll still take your cut. It's
exactly.
Like you're getting my money. Like,
yeah, you're taking my money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, trust me, it's like, God, I gave you that much. Like, holy crap. But I also think new agents make that mistake too, where they like, oh, I want more commission. And it's like, then you don't know anything. Just find the right person to work for, and what you're giving them will make it worth it. Like I have agents that come here and they're like, oh, I want 85-15. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to give 10% to my broker. You did 12 deals last year, or 7 deals, or whatever number. You're like literally like $6,000 to me before taxes. After taxes, it's like $3,000. Like, why would I have you in my office to make $3,000 off you?
Yeah.
That's why when you're like, why don't you have a team? And I'm like, it's just like not worth. You know, I've had people come and I said, okay, this is 85-15. Great. That means you don't get to work here. You don't get to be in this office. You don't get to talk to me, and you don't get my phone number. And I'm like, because I'm making $3,000 off you.
Yeah.
You're not even worth my time.
Yeah.
So, well, man, I've actually enjoyed watching your journey over the years, to be honest. Dude. Like, it's funny, like, how I hate when agents don't want to admit that they envy other agents.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, dude, it's just like we all do something special, and we're not all able to do whatever. Like, there's no way like I could ever be as creative as you, you know? And like, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know it's a weird compliment, right? Like, how do I take that? But it's like so true. It's like, I think that's the thing that creators respect other creators.
Yeah.
Because I know how much time goes into that one minute clip.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, someone hit me up. They're like, hey, we need that 15-minute video by Friday. And I'm like, oof, no.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? I said, I can't get that done. You want me to build a video from scratch,
15 minutes,
edit,
yeah,
and get it to you and be on a big platform. It has to look good, and I have to figure this all out myself. Like, no, and I'm an agent.
Yeah,
I got stuff to do. Like, no, I'm sorry. You should have hit me up 3 weeks. 15-minute video. Do you know how long that takes?
Forever.
That is like so much editing time. That's so much creation. You can't just. It's not a 1-minute reel that I'm flying off my rails on. Like,
yeah. No, that's insane. I just heard Adrian walk out the door right now when he heard the 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, he's like, I know. Bye. He's like, I'm not working. I know we got a new YouTube channel started. I'm like, hey, we're gonna just subcontract out the editing. They're gonna do it for us and post and everything. He's like, thank God. He goes, I can't take it. He's like, I can't take on anymore. So, but yeah, like I think that's why like I know like we know how long it takes, and like we know how hard it is. Like, put yourself out there over and over and
be
over.
Yourself and just
being yourself,
be transparent,
and like. You know, deal with people hating on you and telling people that social media is dumb, and it's very difficult. And I think that's the thing that people don't get is like Joe Rogan gets trashed on. What's going to stop me from getting trashed on? Yeah. Like, it's just going to happen. So.
Yeah. You need it.
Well, a lot of new agents follow us. So what is it, some advice that you would want to give to a brand new agent to hopefully let them off in the right direction?
Okay. When you start, interview multiple brokerages. Don't just chase the best commission split. That doesn't mean anything if you don't know anything. Do what works for you. Some people like door knocking, cold calling, sphere of influence. Like, you need to make sure like makes you happy. And then you also just got to have fun with it. And then last one, just be yourself. If you're going to act like a big shot realtor and you're not, people are going to see right through that when they talk to you. It doesn't matter how many buzzwords you use. Like, people can see right through that the same way you would be able to see it if somebody was doing that to you.
Well, and I also think, guys, like what you see on Instagram is not reality.
Big facts.
No one would know that I've only done 2 deals this year.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And maybe by the end of the year, like we're on pace, we'll hit our numbers and we'll do 40 this year. Yeah. But like right now, no one would know that I've done that many deals.
Yeah, it's not important. Don't compare
yourself. It's not important. Just stop comparing yourself.
People post the good and positive. Like
they'll never talk about the listings they don't get. Because I didn't get one last week and I didn't post about it.
Yeah, right. You get 10 deals, but you don't talk about the 30 you maybe lost out on. Like, no agent's going to post about that.
For sure. So, all right, man. Appreciate you coming by. Man. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Peace.